great sports weekend on tap, and that includes the rematch of the national championship game tomorrow night in Seattle. Michigan taking on Washington. Here to talk about it is former Wolverine Jerry Diorio. Jerry, you've been out to Seattle and Husky Stadium before on the water, and you're on the field. All the fans are screaming, but it's one of the great settings in college football.
Oh, it is absolutely, Denny. It's a very loud stadium. I guess last week I misspoke. Somebody made a comment, but I always thought the wave came from Washington, and then we took it back and perfected it and popularized it. But I guess it was a baseball team out there. I think it was either the Seattle Mariners or some other team out there that Washington saw, and they created the wave. Just to say, that stadium rocks. That stadium can get real loud. It's a very difficult place to play. It's a very difficult place to come away with a win. When we were there in '83, we had a 2-touchdown lead with about, I think, 8.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And they scored. We drove the ball down, missed a field goal, and it was pretty close. It was very chip shot kind of field goal, and then they came down with Steve. I think it was Steve Pallur, and our defense was like inches away from about 3 different plays, and they scored and won, and that was that. That was my experience in Seattle. It was a very difficult place, always gloomy, always rainy. Which I think bodes well for us. And, it's a great atmosphere.
Yeah, I think I got lucky and then unlucky. You said it's always raining in the Great Northwest. I went there one time for 2 or 3 days, and it was picture perfect all 3 days and everything. I was like, man, this is the greatest place ever. Everybody's like, how much did it rain? It didn't rain at all, so I got lucky, but maybe unlucky because I tell everybody how great it was. And, maybe it wasn't, maybe it isn't all that great. Well, we have a lot of great things to talk about. We're going to make a pick on this game. Jerry's got some film. He's going to look back last week, things that has caught his eye that'll be applicable for Michigan tomorrow night. Well, let's start out with the big story, and it's Alex Orji at quarterback for Michigan. And you find Michigan fans are like they don't want, they could say things like this is a really tough spot, or man, but they don't like other people saying it. And so it's one of these things back and forth. I put on, it's called College Football Live on ESPN, and when they got to Michigan, the host, she was like, I don't know what to say about the quarterback position at Michigan. What do you say? And the guys are like, we don't know what to say, So it is the focal point. If you talk about Michigan, you're talking about the situation at quarterback, Jerry. That's what we're going to start talking about. How do you feel with Orji as Michigan's QB heading into this game tomorrow night?
I think he's getting better and better. I'm feeling better and better about him, to be honest with you. I know everybody's looking, what are we going to do? How are we going to change this? Look, there have been a lot less talented quarterbacks win in running type football programs. And so, you're going to see one play on Alex Orji where he breaks 3 tackles and still isn't brought down. This kid is a weapon. Whether we're utilizing him or not enough and how we're utilizing him, it might be a different story. However, I did see some things on film that really got me encouraged. I'm seeing packages where Loveland, Mullins, and Edwards are on the field at the same time. Now, I don't know about you, Denny. As a defensive coordinator, though, I'm looking at that backfield and I'm saying that ball can hit anywhere, and I got to be completely sound in my gap integrity. That backfield is very dangerous, has a lot of weapons, can exploit you at any time, and can break big gains on you anytime. So as far as what I'm saying, Denny, if we get the package and the personnel around Orji that we can, I think this offense can be very dynamic and very scary, especially by the end of the season. Remember, we're going into October and November. That's when weather changes, and that's exactly what we're looking at right now. We're looking at a great ground game, that we can have a great ground game, and we're going into the heart of the weather. So that's my take. Listen, you can argue all you want about how bad Orji is and this and that, and the fact of the matter, he's here now. He's our leader. He's our quarterback. What's our system to make him more successful? I think I'm starting to see some things where the coaches are putting him in position with favorable personnel and favorable plays. I just want to see it more.
Yeah, that's all fair. I feel like, most of the fans that are watching Michigan, and you try to remind yourself that, last week was just a second start. So you try to put that into context. There was, I don't know if it was his first throw, a little 10-yard out, and they cut to the crowd, and there's like this Michigan fan, and he was sitting there. He's like, oh, okay, all right. And so I think that's how people were feeling. And then you got into the second half, and then, when he threw his best pass of the year, the 16-yard pass, threw a couple progressions, and Joel Klatt's like, hey, look at him, look at here. And you're like, all right, man, this is development. And then he missed the pass to, and Loveland could have done a better job, but, he hits that one. It's a totally different. I think people are like, wow, man, that's sports, things are close. And I would love for Orji to go out there, Kirk Campbell for you after the game to say, you know what, he put Orji in a lot of good positions, really like the play calling, and you'd like to see Orji or whatever. Of course, passing the ball and looking good there, and Michigan winning the game. I just haven't felt that. I want to be honest to everybody. Yeah, sure. There's been a little bit here, a little bit there, and you got to remind yourself, and they are winning. And there is a part where, after I've said all of that, if Michigan finds a way, I don't care how they find a way. They score all their points on special teams, and they don't throw for any yards, and they win the game. You head into the bye at 5-1. This team has done a good job if they do that.
Absolutely.
And there does come a bottom line, and then they've got 2 weeks to decide what they're going to do in the second half here, and if they keep it rolling, and they've got Jack Tuttle, who apparently could be traveling to this game and feeling a lot better, and so where he fits in. I don't think he's going to fit in unless things go south. I mean, for a lot of people are like, put him in. I think to see another quarterback in there, things would have to go south. So you want to be careful what you wish for. So, finding a way to win this game and, getting in the clubhouse halfway through at the turn, however you want to put it, they're in the bye. It's the midway point of the season. They have done a good job. So even if you're like, this is terrible, they're going to lose all the games in the second half. You get to this spot, and you should feel good if you're a Michigan fan if they win on Saturday night.
This would be a great win. Going into a bye, if we can get this win, standing 5-1, I like our chances down the stretch. And I'm telling you, listen, I heard Scar talk about Orji, and he kind of not compared him to Milroe, but compared the offenses to what Milroe was running. And, my son kind of made the same suggestion to me on Sunday that, hey, why can't Orji have a system more like Milroe and utilize his talents more? And when Scar said that, it kind of gave that some validity. Whether you want to say he's as talented, let's not talk about how talented he is compared to Milroe. However, we can say that he should be in the run design a lot more, and especially when you see a couple of the runs and a couple of the personnel situations, there's plenty you can do with Orji. Plenty.
Let's see what they are able to do. For me, I think I can see this is a winnable game. You might be thinking, oh, no, road game. Everybody talking about how loud it is, and this is going to be a loss. I mean, sure, you can feel however you want. the road to victory for Michigan is on the ground, and it's getting out to a lead. If they can play, and we've seen them play. Look how they played in the first half against USC. I mean, they come out there and duplicate that. They could be up, 21-7, 21-10. If you have the lead, well, you can go to ground and pound.
Denny, I'm thinking back on some of our performances this year, and when you look at it, we have been out big. We have let people back in games for whatever reason, interceptions, trying to go big, and losing momentum or losing rhythm on offense. So we've had big leads. We've given them up by what? Giving turnovers, I should say, and leaving our defense on the field a lot in the second half. That's a mark of a young team, an inexperienced team that's going to make mistakes. Hopefully, they've got those out of the system, and now we can move forward. I just think this offense can be very dynamic with Orji at quarterback.
Yeah, and I think it can be effective, and it can be a winning. Dynamic makes me feel like he's going to start, looking like Lamar Jackson or Milroe last week, and I'm not expecting that. In fact, I was hoping that, if you would have told me that Orji would have thrown for 32 yards and 86 yards through his first two starts, and Michigan won the games, I'd say, oh boy, he must have looked great on the ground. I mean, he must have been running guys over. And I know you've got some of those clips coming up that we're going to look at, but there's been some spots where, he's made some runs. I was expecting him to be a more, to use your word, dynamic runner. And
absolutely.
I've seen that. And I don't know if that's, you've got so much on your plate as a quarterback. And I do feel like the game is still a little fast for him. So if he could catch up to that, I expect a little bit more on the ground. And maybe that arm can then catch up a little bit too.
Again, Denny, I'm old school. So dynamic to me is a great running game. That I love seeing big run games. And oh, by the way, let's not say that Lamar Jackson is so dynamic because of his passing game. No, he lost against Kansas City because they threw so much. Not because they ran too much, but because they threw so much. So to me, I see an offense that can be very dynamic with this kid at quarterback. You've got plenty of weapons around him. Heck, you got Denny. You got one of the, if not the best tight ends, and if you split him out, he's virtually uncoverable with Loveland. If you split Loveland out against a cornerback, I don't know many cornerbacks in the country that can cover him. You've got three weapons in the backfield. You're looking at Klein. Klein is becoming a stud blocker, and he's got great hands, great speed, great athleticism. To me, that can be a very scary offense. Sorry, that's how I feel.
Here's how Mark feels before we get our picks. He says he expects them to win. He expects to hold Washington under 20 unless the D implodes or the O helps him. But a dog, and he's talking about an underdog, to a 2-2 Washington team opening the season as an 8-point favorite isn't, quote unquote, doing well. 5-1 record, great, but not play. And, the thing about preseason, you get national championship, and, I got caught up into it a little bit too. Like, oh, the offensive line is going to be good. And, the defense is going to be great. And Michigan going to be fine. And they're going to go 10-2 and everything else. But the offense hasn't been where you would have expected.
Let's say that, Denny, we came into the year, we said we got 10 new starters on the offense, correct? 10 new starters on the offense. We're looking at the offense and saying, man, where is that production going to come from? New offensive line. First of all, when you look at this offensive line, they are being very good, and they're getting better all the time. And by the end of the season, they can be a dominant offensive line. This team, you're going to look at one time where I think it was the play before the Orji interception that everybody wants to rip on. But you're looking at the play before that. He literally had 4 seconds in the pocket with nobody around him for at least a yard or two. So nobody was in. He had a great lane to throw in. He's had great lanes to throw in. We're running the ball well. We're the third leading rushing team in the Big Ten right now. And we're doing it against we've played 2 top 10 teams and 2 conference teams. So the offensive line is coming together very nicely. Klein was an unknown. Klein is becoming a truly dominant blocker. You're going to see one play where he takes an outside responsibility defensive end, blocks him down into the gap, which gives us a wide open outside power play. Klein is becoming a dominant blocker. Mullins is well over what expectations was. Remember, going into the season, Edwards was our number 1, and Edwards has had a pretty good year, but Mullins has been an animal. He's been an absolute beast in the backfield. He's gotten us to the hard yards. He's broken big plays. He's shown he has speed. So, as far as I'm concerned, we've overachieved it on the offensive line. We've overachieved the tight end. Our running backs are right where we thought we'd be, if not better. Our quarterback is still not solved, and the only reason it's not solved is because we don't have the system for him. That's it. Wide receivers, we got to get open more.
Yeah, I agree with you on the running backs, but I would like to see Donovan Edwards. I'd like to see them try some different things with them, but the offensive line, if shifting. I don't know who the best center is. I don't think at right tackle. We could talk about everything. If they need better play from the right tackle, they're not going to win things in the second half. Not going to have the kind of season. And Link, for as well as he's doing in the run game, he's doing that bad in pass protection. So
why are we messing around that? Why don't we commit to the run game and commit to an Orji run game?
I don't think you can. I think you have to be able. I think the wide receivers don't look like they're getting open, but I think that's a product of defensive backs saying, "Look, we don't have to worry about getting the ball thrown over our head. We don't have to worry about the ball after 10 yards being thrown, so we can just press up and we can play loosey-goosey." It's like when teams know nowadays that you can't threaten them with the ball going over their head, they just get up on you. I think that because all these wide receivers, I think Tyler Morris is a pretty good wide receiver. I think the same thing about Samaj Morgan and Fred Moore. The part about these guys aren't getting open, that's because you don't have a threatening quarterback. And look,
they should be more open. They should be more open down the field if we don't have a threatening quarterback. We're busting big runs against 11 guys in the box. Give me a freaking break. That's a great offensive line. And we're doing it numerous times a game. Not once, not twice. We're doing it numerous times a game. Link has come a long way. I'm going to defend him. He's playing real well in the run game. Yeah, his pass blocking needs to be improved, but his run blocking has been very good. Al-Hadid getting better every day. As far as the center's position is concerned, we got 2 guys that can play anytime, anywhere. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll put my 2 centers out there, and they'll be in the top 3 or 4 teams in the Big Ten. They'll be starting for the top 3 or 4 teams in the starting for anybody other than maybe the top 3 in the Big Ten. I'll tell you what. I'll take our centers over Ohio State's.
Well, I like that you back the team and that you like what you see and that you feel like I'm picking them to win. We'll go to the picks. I'm picking them to win the game tomorrow. I think that they can use their ground game to get out into a lead. They've played well in the first half against Minnesota, against USC. These are the 2 most important games to me out of all of those. And they've settled in on the quarterback in at least here in the Big Ten. This is going to be Orji's 3rd game. I'm expecting him to play better than he has the previous 2 games. So I think that they can get out to this lead and then they could continue to play the way that they have. And that's just running the ball. But I don't,
Well, Billy, that's the problem. We get out to these big leads and what do? We throw interceptions and let teams back in the game. Okay. That's, to me, that's not playing to your talent. Sorry. That is not playing.
Jerry, I mean, they drew it up. You have to. I mean, they're not going to be able to reach their goals by throwing for under 100 yards. I don't know if they're going to go. I mean, I don't think they're going to go to a wishbone, and they've got to be able to push. I know. I'm just saying they got to be able to push the ball down the field, and you have to be able to throw a ball over 16 yards, and it's going to happen. Now, maybe it can happen, and I'm not going to get on them for when you have a 24-3 lead, and you're thinking, all right, well, let's let Orji throw one down the seam. Hell, people are talking about Kirk Campbell. He's got Dono wide open on a wheel route, could have gone for a touchdown. He had Loveland, the best tight end in America, down the seam. And if you don't just have this floater that comes out like this, it's a touchdown. You're talking about it 31-3, and you're saying, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You got to go out there and then give this guy some throws and scheme some things up. It was all happening for him. So,
And in the meantime, Denny, we're on the 45-yard line. We're the 1st and 10. We've run the ball for about 6 yards of play. We take another 4 minutes off that clock and score. We're up 31-3 in the 4th quarter. We threw that ball with 4:08 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and that's when the floodgates started. If we would have stayed on the ground, we would have probably punched that ball in with no time left in the 3rd quarter, and they were not going to stop us on the ground. You'll see us carrying 5, 6, 7, 8 yards at a time. This offensive line, this running game is very powerful, very dangerous. I'll tell you what, now, if I'm a defensive coordinator and Michigan has a very good offensive system with this kid, with Orji, I'm nervous. I don't like it. Because you know what, Denny? You can put 11 guys in the box, and we can bust you right as quick with that as quick with 7 guys in the box. So don't, in fact, we have a better chance of breaking it with 11 in the box than we do with 7.
Well, I'm going to give you this, Jerry. Tomorrow night, I think that if they are up by 21 points at any point in the second half, that Campbell shouldn't be turning the pages thinking like, okay, let's let Orji cook. No, I think he should just stay with, what brought him, and let's not let him cook, and let's not try some things unless you want to get up by 28 points. Then you want to let him throw some balls downfield. Okay, because we saw up 20.
Obviously, 21 isn't enough.
No, all right. That's the thing. 21's not enough. 28. And then you want to try some different things. I think they need to stay. However, you can get dynamic in the run game, empties and having them run and wildcatting them, whatever else, moving him out, both Donovan Edwards and Khalil Mullings. That seemed like it showed some promise there. I'm with all of that, but I'm not turning the page in the playbook at all against Washington unless they get up by, close to 30 points. So I'm
absolutely, Denny. There's no reason to. Listen. I'm up 21 points. I got the ball on the 45, and I'm not saying it was a bad call. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was a bad call. What I'm saying is, I'm thinking to myself, they haven't stopped the run. There's 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. I've got a 21-point lead. If I go 3 more plays, there's another minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes off the clock, right? And I'll punt, and they get the ball down at the 1-yard line. This is not a team to take chances with. We don't have the team to take chances with. Let's put people away before we start taking those chances and going downfield with our quarterback. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it was a particularly bad call. Everything was favorable. I got that noted. Everything was favorable. Down and distance, situation, field position, where we were in the game. Everything was favorable. And what happened? We threw an interception and almost lost the game. My thing is, keep pounding, keep delivering what we're doing, and start burying people. That's what a ground game does, Denny. It buries people. We should not be holding on to leads. We should be burying people in the third and fourth quarter. That's when people get tired of the run game.
Yeah, Jerry, the former offensive lineman at Michigan and coach. I mean, I know you believe in it. I know that's how you can win games, and I can hear
especially when we have a quarterback that nobody thinks can pass.
Right. How about answering some questions here, Jerry?
Sure, absolutely, Denny.
Blank says he likes the idea of Will Johnson taking a couple snaps on offense. He thinks doing that could create a situation where he is a great decoy. What do you think?
I think we got a lot of great, with all due respect, I think we got a lot of great weapons on offense. We got a lot of great decoys. Why don't we just start doing what we know we can do well?
Yeah. Will Johnson, the thing is, what are you going to do? Is he going to be able to get open if these other wide receivers, the attention, it's not like they're just, kind of lollygagging and going out there. You know how it is. You got to attention to detail, how you're running your routes and everything. Asking a defensive back then to get out there to be a decoy, and is he going to get open on any crisp routes? Or I don't think that they're ready for that. That it seems it's gimmicky, and they've got to walk before you think about
how many more weapons do you need? Mullings, Orji, Edwards, Loveland, Klein, Morris. How many more weapons do you need?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not. I don't think that they should put Will Johnson out there. I'm not with that. Cut from a different cloth is talking about forgetting the quarterback position this year. Portnoy will help solve that for next year and beyond. I'll jump in first and answer this one, Jerry. Portnoy may have some money, and he may be able to, spring a QB, and how that's going to work with the quarter like Jaden Davis, and how it's going to work with Brady Hart and any quarterback that he's going to go after. Look, it's a different game, and he's got money behind him, so we'll see how that works out. But talking about forgetting about the quarterback position this year is, what are we talking about? You're just punting the season. You got a game tomorrow night, and
nobody's saying punt the season, Denny. I'm not seceding or I'm not giving up on us winning the Big Ten championship game with this team. I just think we need to do what we do best. That's everything. When you're in companies, you're in business, you do what you do best, and you live with it. You live with the results, and you go with it. By trying to force other things in there because everybody says you can't do this and that. We went 32 plays against Penn State with all eyes on us, and Jim Harbaugh sitting in the hotel room and didn't throw a pass against one of the top 10 teams in the country at that point in time. Okay? We've shown we can do it. I mean, JJ was no great threat those last 3 games of the regular season last year. If we all remember correctly, he had a very bad ankle. Okay? And it was up to our offensive line, up to our run game to do that. I think we got more weapons this year on the run game right now than we did last year.
Smash wants more 5-yard passes with 15 yards after the catch. I mean, what do you think of that point?
Short passes like that would be good. We're all saying that Orji can't throw. We're going to look at the film today. When we get time, we're going to look at the film today, and we're going to see Orji make some really tough throws out to the sideline, down the gut with that dig route right before the interception. He has the capability of making some throws.
And I would say to Ferris is that that's what Orji does. He throws a lot of 5-yard passes, some 10 yards. I mean,
that's exactly what I was going to say, Danny. The one pass I was talking about, it was an out. The linebacker thought he had an interception, or the cornerback thought he had an interception, and the velocity of the ball, it was out so quick and out so hard that he didn't have a chance.
All right, a couple more, and then we'll go to the film. Michigan Lover 12 says he would rather have a 3-and-out because we ran every play. That doesn't help the defense. Would he rather have, I don't know if he's talking about you or who he's talking about. So I don't know if you want to say something there, you can.
You know what? I'll tell you what. If we went 3-and-out on offense, running the ball, it's a minute and a half off the clock, 2 minutes off the clock. We go 3-and-out on offense, throwing the ball, it's 10 seconds. So
look, I'm going into this game thinking that this is going to be a tight one into the fourth quarter, and they're going to have to win it. It's going to be a 1-possession game. They're going to have to win it in the fourth quarter. So I'm in Michigan's game plan is getting out to a lead so they can continue to play to their strength which is running the ball. If they get down, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could go and make a change at quarterback. Not that I'm sitting around demanding it or talking about it like I'm trying to push Orji out. Like, he's the starter. If they're playing well, he's going to be there. It's more than likely if they win and he plays okay that they're going to stay with him at Illinois and in the second half. But there is the possibility, just like against USC, there was the possibility that they may have put in Davis Ward. This time, there's a possibility that they could put in Jack Tuttle. So I don't know.
How many people out there honestly thought Michigan had a chance when we were down and on our side of the field, inside our 20, before Mullins hit that run? Can't throw the ball.
I don't hear anything. I don't hear anybody.
We can't throw. How are we going to think we can win this game? And yet one run play puts us in position to win the ball game. The run game is just as effective as the pass game, explosive as the pass game. We need to utilize that more. We need to put more run emphasis with Orji. And I agree with Ted, I think his name was. Orji's got to run the ball. Orji's got to run the ball. We cannot be afraid to let him run the ball.
All right, one more. We got some film. Travis is with Orji. He's confident that Michigan can get the win tomorrow and make it to the bye. More coaching, and he thinks we'll be in the thick of the Big Ten title contention. All right. That's the idea. That's what you're hoping for. So let's do it. While Jerry's looking at the film and getting ready to go here, I want to remind everybody, and you take a look at it, it's about the Maize and Blue Review. Basketball season right around the corner, October 20th. Is going to be and we are in the month of October, so just a little bit over 2 weeks. They'll be getting going there. We got you covered with basketball. We're talking about basketball, and as you might expect, football all day, all night on the Maize and Blue Review. And I would like to see you over there by going to michigan.rivals.com. We're following the Tigers all day through a game thread. And with them getting things going a little bit after 1 o'clock tomorrow, that's going to be a lot of fun. It's a nice community. You should come on out. Give it a shot. What are you waiting for? Join the Maize and Blue Review today. Go to michigan.rivals.com to get that done. And now we're going to get it done with Jerry and looking at some of this film. And there he is, Alex Orji and the Little Brown Jug.
I'll take him, Denny. I like this kid. I do. He's the best we've got right now as far as I'm concerned. And I just think we need to put him in favorable situations. Okay, Denny, this is one of the very few times I'm going to hit the defense. But this is what I'm talking about with fit. Watch these two linebackers over here. I don't think we have enough personnel over here. They're going to double Mason Graham. So let's watch this play develop. Where are the eyes on the of the linebackers? Barnum has to play outside here for any kind of bubble pass, bubble screen, or anything like that. Quarterback leaking out the backside, so he's gone. Barnum is gone. That leaves Hausman. That's it. He's got to play two gaps. He's got to play the backside A or the front side B. He's got to get involved in the run game between those gaps. And he just gets misplaced. You see that right there, Denny? He should be right here. This is where Hausman should be. And this is a problem that we need to address right away. I don't think we're fitting real well on our defense, especially against the run plays. We're not fitting great against run plays on defense. And I just want to see our guys a little bit more fitting better into the run game. Right here.
Who's he reading there, Jerry? Was he reading the guards?
I don't know what he's reading. I'm thinking he's reading the back. But that doesn't tell me why he steps the opposite way. If he's reading the back, he should have been down here right now. Watch what they do to Mason Graham. They block him out of the hole, which leaves this backside A gap. Really, is where it is. Even though it's not where it hits, that's the gap that Hausman should be coming through right there. You see that? We've got the backside covered with Grant, and he makes a pretty decent play here. He gives a great effort here, trying to get off there. But we've got to fit better on the defensive side for our run game. That's what I'm saying there. Maybe we're still trying to figure everybody out, but we need to fit better on the run game. Okay, need more quarterback design runs. Here you go, 6 up. I don't like 6 up because the first thing you need to do if you're not blitzing, if you're not coming, you got to drop back and you got to start watching receivers and trying to figure out who's coming into your zone. What that does is it takes your eyes off the quarterback, and that's not a very good quarterback to take your eyes off of. Okay, everybody's man here. Look at him. That's the linebacker that was up here. Do you see him, Denny?
Yeah.
He's got no chance. His back is turning. He's running. I don't know what he's being taught, but everybody is connected. Everybody's manned up. What does that do? It leaves a wide open ISO run for Orji. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Watch him after contact. 1, 2, 3. Still not down. Why isn't he running the ball more? That's my question. That is an effective running player right here. I love this package. We're going to see it a couple more times later in the film. Edwards, Mullins, Klein. Now, if you put Loveland out here, you got Klein here. If you put Loveland out here, wow. What poison do you want to go after, Denny? That's a lot of weapons right there. So let's put and don't tell me that Edwards can't lead a block for either Mullins or Orji. We can run zone out here. We can run zone out here with 2 or 3 lead blockers, especially if we put Mullins out there in front of him somehow. But this is a very effective offensive package, a lot of weapons. And I'll take that 5-yard gain any day. Look at the hole that opens up. Look at Klein getting down, beating his guy inside, and he gets down on that linebacker. Great movement on the double team. That's a house right there. Hinton is a house. How's he doing, by the way, Denny? Is he scheduled to play?
Yes.
Okay. Hinton is a house. Our centers are playing well, both of them. I think the reason why we haven't chosen the center yet is because they're both playing pretty well. And so here we go. I love that package. It utilizes a lot of our talent. I just think that's a great package. High quality throw here. Let's take a look at this. Great pocket, first of all. You're going to see this numerous times. Look at how much room Orji has to work with in this pocket. Now, okay, but Jerry, you just said don't throw the ball. What else can you do with it? Quarterback draws, quarterback scrambles, those types of things where Orji now is more involved in the run game. Heck, we've got Mullins in here, and he's not blocking anybody. That means we're pretty stout and we're pretty good up front. Watch this throw to Loveland. This tells me this young man's got some arm strength. He's thinking interception right here. But when he sees the velocity of the ball, he can't get over there. Watch him all through the play.
I like this one.
Watch him all through the play. Look at it. He's thinking interception. Pick 6. Oh, shoot. Damn. That was completed because of Orji's arm strength and because of the anticipation of the cornerback thinking that Orji was going to throw a pick 6. All right, screens, big plays that we could design for Orji. These are pass plays he can throw. They're not hard. They're available in very good situations. But this is a great screenplay pass. And here's Klein. Nice to see he's healthy. Nice to see he's healthy. He doesn't make that run if he's got a pull hamstring. But here we are, 2nd and 10. Boom.
Orji did a nice job getting that ball out. He kind of had to use an unorthodox throwing motion there too. So I like it.
Yep. Okay, another explosive run inside. Okay, now this is what I'm talking about, Denny. Run games, I would much rather send 4, drop 7, and play against a passing team than play against a hard-nosed, very good run team. And the reason is because for against the run game, you've got to fit perfectly. You've got to fit and make plays. Once you don't fit, that's when gaps happen. That's when big run plays happen. How many plays have we had over 25 yards, Denny, that went for touchdowns on the run game this year? I know 3 in SC, okay? Our run game is becoming very explosive. And by having 11 guys up here does not matter, because once you break that 11, it's a lot easier to score. When you got 7 back here, now you got to grind like Iowa did to us last year.
Yeah, Mulling's first touchdown on that first drive this past Saturday was a 27-yard run. So
right here, there it is.
Oh yeah,
watch this guy. He is just briefly out of position, just inches out of position, and Mullins exploits him. That's the kind of run game we have. Okay. How many have we had over 25? And I love that. I've been here before, right, Denny? Here, let me give you the ball back, referee. I've been here, and I'm going to come back again in a couple minutes here. I love that. That's a great attitude. Let's go celebrate with with my teammates instead of making it all about me. All right, here's one of our centers, Denny. Here's one of our centers. In my opinion, this defensive tackle should ricochet off of him and get back in here. Now, if he's on a game where he's got to get all the way over to the backside A, I'm not crazy about it. I think that's a real risky defensive strategy. But if that's the case, then the linebacker should be over here. My thinking is he's been taught to ricochet off the center and get back out here, which he does not do. And how do you say Dom's last name again, Denny?
Jadis.
Gets a great block there. Here's this linebacker. He doesn't know where the ball's going to hit. We've got Al Hadid cutting off the 3 technique. We got big links coming down here threatening this linebacker. He's out of position just for a second. Goodbye. That's our run game, Denny. I love our run game. I think we can win a Big Ten championship with our run game. I like where we're at on offense. I just want to see more offensive run designs by Orji. Again, I think we're having a little bit of problem with fit here. Okay. Here's Houseman. I'm thinking Houseman should be starting to work out this way, and Barnum should be following him. You've got enough out here. You got enough out here for the quarterback out here at the back door. And Brosmer is not a great running quarterback. So, in my opinion, I'm taking the running back and trying to stuff him. But we're still not fitting the way we have in the past. And I'm hoping we're going to start getting better at that real quick. All right. Second quarter, 2nd and 18. Totten performed. This is outstanding by Barry. Barry always seems to be by the plate, too, by the way.
Yeah.
He always seems to be around the ball, by the play, getting things done. Just has a nose for the ball. Totten performed. That's great coaching. That's great performance by our players. That's outstanding right there. That's how you win ball games. Turnovers. Turnovers matter, Denny. Turnovers. You got to win the turnover battle. There's the ball. Barry's got it. Outstanding play. Now, our defense has really set us up real nicely the last couple games with some real nice field position. But here's numerous options off this inside zone. Look at, we can run Mullins on the inside zone, which we do, and he busts, and he's good. But we also have this little bubble pass out here. We could run an option with them. Okay? There's numerous opportunities and numerous things we can do with this offense. Lots of space to defend in unfamiliar territory. This kid is not used to playing in that line right there, Denny. That's not his job. That's not his typical job. He's playing 3 and 4 wide receivers against Ohio and Penn and all these other places. He ain't used to coming up here and having to make a tackle. And this is the result. He's going to miss. And we've seen a lot of missed tackles against us this year. Would you agree with that, Denny?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Okay. Because people are playing out of position and playing in unfamiliar positions that they're not used to. That's what our run game gives us. While everybody else is doing their thing, we're pounding the rock, making people uncomfortable. This is just another way of running power. Instead of pulling the backside guard and leading, we pull the front side guard and kick out, and then we exchange with Bredesen, who ends up leading this play. But great job by our offensive line. Great run by Mullins. And that's what we got to do. When the defense gives us the ball in favorable field position, we've got to take advantage of it and score touchdowns. So great job by the offense. Great job by the defense. That's complimentary football right there. All right. Punt blocks, special teams plays, and defensive scores are game changers. These kinds of things, they're studies. When you block a punt, your chances of winning a ball game goes up like 70%. Defensive score, same thing. And I think we've seen that this year so far. Between Johnson and special teams plays like this, we're seeing that. And isn't Bevan the one who did it against Maryland last year, Denny?
I don't know that answer, Jerry. Sorry.
Okay. Taking advantage of another short field. We got to do this. Got to be able to do it. Love the quick release, but look at all the options we have. The 2 wide out here, Klein and who's this out here, Denny? Is it number 80? Is that number 80?
Could be.
I'm not sure. Huh?
It could be. I can't tell for sure. We'll have to.
Okay, but they're taking their DBs out. Look at what man coverage does, Denny. Everybody now saying, "Oh, we got to play man against Michigan." Look what man coverage does to these 2 guys right here. They got to run with their back to the ball, and here comes Morse right behind them for a great job running, getting in the end zone. That's an outstanding job by Morse. He seems to have a nose for the end zone. Great job by Orji getting the ball out quick so he can turn the corner and get up there. Everything was good on that play. That's a great pass for Orji. That is an outstanding pass for Orji. So, we've got to, in my opinion, we've just got to do more of what he is capable of doing. Instead of complaining we don't have an offense or we don't have a quarterback, let's start utilizing our quarterback's strengths and make him a better, more threatening player out there for everybody to see. Okay, great decision here by Orji. Okay. This kid has got this out covered. He doesn't throw it. If he throws that ball, Denny, it's a pick 6. Right there. You see it? He's got his eyes on Orji right now. If he throws the ball to Klein, it's a pick 6. He's walking. Now, the only other option you got is Bell. He could have maybe thrown at the Bell, but that could have been picked off as well. Look at this under here right there. So I think Orji makes an outstanding decision. Just because a quarterback doesn't throw a completion doesn't mean he doesn't make an outstanding decision. He made an outstanding decision here because if he throws it, the game's 21-7 in my opinion. So there's a great decision by Orji. He's capable of making those decisions. Okay. Well, I mean, how many times have you heard it? Knock the ball down. But I'll tell you what, you got to give it to PJ Fleck and his coaching staff. This is a very impressive situation that they just completed. Look at these kids running. There's 1 second left when they kick or when they snap, and he gets 3 points. That's outstanding coaching right there. To be able to get the ball down there, we should have knocked the ball down. Barry, knock the ball down next time. I know you like stats, but let's win ball games. But That's outstanding coaching right there. To be able to get your team on the field with 2 seconds left and kick a field goal, that's pretty good. All right, Denny, we're going to have to make these all year long. 4th and 1s. Look at where we're at, 34-yard line. We've got to do this to keep drives alive, to keep our defense off the field. And the nice thing is we've got the offense to do it. There's Mullins. Now, here's what Orji does, Denny. Here's what Orji does. Look at this guy. He's got to make sure Orji is secured, first and foremost. If we don't have a running quarterback, he goes to Mullins, this play is dead. Watch. He's got to take Orji right there. Boom. Now watch where Mullins goes. That little bit right there gave us a first down. You see that, Denny?
Yeah.
They've got to account for Orji on the run plays. That's one less defender they got for that play right there. That's what Orji does. He makes you defend 11 guys on run plays. Okay, another effective passing concept for our quarterback. Let's see what happens here. Okay, got drags. Now, what did we like about Loveland in that first week? We love the fact that they split him out here on number 1, and number 2 was slanting, and he was getting slants against Fresno all day long. Well, this is just another way of doing it. Now we're going to send Bredesen across the field and Orji right behind, or Loveland right behind him on a slant. There's nobody going to cover that. Nobody's going to cover that. It's a nice, easy throw. Orji delivers it right on the money. Move the chains.
Yeah.
Move the chains. Okay. Power from 11 personnel. This is what I'm talking about. Klein is becoming a dominant blocker. Let's watch him here, and let's look at the double team there. See how Klein gets inside that I think he's either a 6-eye or a 5, but this is a very tough block. You're asking this guy who's outside here to get in and kick out because we're going to get the movement here on the offensive line. And Klein does exactly what we needed to do. He gives Ahadid enough room to get through there, pick up the linebacker, and we're gaining yards. We're gaining yards. 6, 7 yards at a crack. Third quarter, 3rd and 6. This is a counter read, Denny. I love this play. This is a counter read. Orji's reading this 5 technique right here. If the 5 technique comes upfield, you pull it and you run counter the other way. That tells me our coaching staff realizes we've got to put more plays in the book for Orji. When this tackle goes down, following the offensive tackle, when this defensive end goes down and follows the offensive tackle, we give the ball, and we're going to perfect this. This could have been a touchdown right here. If Loveland gets outside this block by Mullins, and Mullins attacks the line of scrimmage a little bit more, this play could be a big play out here. But I love the concept. We've got a counter read. They've got to defend both sides of the ball. Do you see what I'm talking about, Denny? Watch these 2 guys pull this way. There's a reason they're pulling this way. It's not a false pull. It's not an influence. They're pulling this way because this ball can hit over here as well. If this guy comes up the field, Orji's going to keep the ball on this side. But watch what the defensive end does. Orji gives it. I think Donovan had a bad read. I think Mullins could have attacked the line of scrimmage better. We're going to get better at that, Denny, and that'll be a nice play later on down the season for us. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. We've got to design the offense around our personnel. Our personnel right now is Alex Orji, a quarterback. He's got to have more designed runs. All right. I don't know anybody who's going to disagree with this, but this is a rope. That's a dart. Would you agree with that, Denny?
Take a look at it.
Would you agree with that? I think it's a pretty good throw. There's a lot of crowd there. There's a lot of white jerseys around there, Denny. 5 in the vicinity. That's a heck of a throw right there.
Was it a little bit behind him, or is this
a little bit behind him? A little bit behind him. Look at the lane we get.
It's good that he's kept his head up and he's looking downfield and he's got a lot of guys around him. That part's good.
And you know what else is good, Denny? That he's got confidence in his offensive line that they're going to give him that kind of protection.
Yeah.
Look at this protection, Denny. You're going to see one time later where he's got 4 seconds to throw the ball. Okay? Third quarter, second 3, weapons. Here we go again. We've got that Edwards-Mullins package in. Let's see what happens. Boom. It's hard to stop right there, Denny. And I'm telling you right now, I don't agree with some people that are saying, well, we're just going to run this way because Mullins is the lead blocker. We can run this way as well. We can run this way as well. We're going to put Donovan Edwards on people that he can actually block on this way. Great job by that's a great job by Al-Hadid. Look at him maneuver around there. Look at his path and look at him change his path right at the last second. That's a great job. There's Klein. I think that's Klein. Oh, that's Mullins with the kick out. And this is the one I was talking about. Denny. Here's Klein. This kid is in a 7 technique. He's either head up or slightly outside. The bottom line is he's got that outside control. He's got that outside responsibility. Klein actually buries him down inside on this run play. And that's the key block right there. I love this stuff, Denny. That's 8-10 yards right there on a simple power play. That's hard to argue. Here we go. 11 in the box. The operation was a success, Denny. However, the patient died. Okay.
All right.
Here we go. Yeah, we got Edwards wide open. Wide open down here. The problem with this play starts with Link. Link sets a little bit too far outside. The defender goes inside. He washes him down nicely, but what it does, it makes Orji get off of his spot. He doesn't want to be uncomfortable. He wants to be as comfortable as possible. Okay? You see how he is? Look at how he's throwing the ball right there, Denny. You see his feet? He's not following through like he did on that one pass just a couple snaps ago.
All arm. Yeah.
It's all arm. There's no follow through. There's no foot. And probably because he's off his spot. He's not comfortable. And he's not looking at all his receivers. And so this ball should have been thrown on the hash. That's where this play was designed, in my opinion. Throw the ball on the hash. What he does, he tries to aim the ball, and it's almost in the middle of the field. To me, Denny, I'm going to go over this a little bit more here because everything here was exactly what we wanted for our quarterback, okay? Everything was good. Everything was good as far as the situation and all favorable. We're 1st and 10 on the 50. We've got 11 inside 10 yards on the line of scrimmage. Favorable, right? The formation and concept gives us mismatches. Favorable. Edwards wide open on the sideline because we've got them outnumbered. We've got them outmaneuvered. Okay? Everything was good on this situation. What happened? We end up barely eking out a 28 or 27-24 victory. That's why I thought that play was not as good as we could have done. We, his feet didn't appear to be set. The ball should have been on the hash, almost in the middle of the field. Those are the kinds of things that, in my opinion, you're up 21-3. Let's keep pounding them. Let's put this game away. Forget about all the other stuff. Let's do what we do. So here we are now. This kid's good. This quarterback is good. He was at what was he? Division I AA Player of the Year last year or something like that, Denny? Or yep. Division II? This kid was a good ball player. He's right now he's passing against Michigan for 6.62 yards an attempt. That's pretty good against Michigan. So that quarterback was good. We played a good quarterback. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, how about zone read with an arc from Bredesen? What if Bredesen blocks out here, Denny? What if Bredesen blocks out here? We've got inside zone here. You know, everybody knows we're going to run inside zone here. What if Orji pulls the ball and Bredesen's out in front of him against number 9? You see what I'm saying? Let's read number 17. Let's read him. Let's not block him. Let's read him. Heck, we don't have any. Nobody's got a good angle on him except maybe Klein. But let's read him. Let's arc here, and let's utilize Orji more on a read concept. But that's what I'm talking about. Those are the kind of things that we need to do with our guy, with Alex. All right, this is a good answer. You know, our kids drove the ball down the field, ran the ball most of the time. That gives us the difference we need. The 27 points that we needed. That was a heck of a catch by that kid in the end zone. I don't know, Denny. What do you think? Was he offsides or not?
I thought that he was not offsides. I mean, I think that
was this guy offsides or not?
No, he wasn't.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. We got to put games away. There's no reason this game should have come down to an onside kick and an offside penalty. We're up 21-3. We got them right where we want them. That game is over. That game is over. We're going to freaking pound you now, and we're going to wear you down, and you're going to hurt at the end of the game. That's the kind of football.
He wasn't offsides, but the one defender definitely makes contact before the ball goes 10 yards. I mean, that is pretty obvious. Now,
where at? Right?
I think it's 43. 43 hits Klein before the ball goes 10 yards. Let's see. Yeah, see, 43 is beyond the before the ball gets to 10 yards.
40. I thought he's allowed to do that, Denny.
No, I thought you had to wait for the ball to go 10 yards before you can contact anyone.
Okay, but you remember now they call him offsides here, though.
Right. No, I didn't think he was. I mean, but that's not reviewable. Either is a block after 10 yards. Touching the ball is reviewable, but I didn't think. I know a lot of Michigan fans were like, no, it wasn't irrefutable video evidence to me. But, you know, so, and the other two aren't reviewable. So that's that. These are the ones that people have a hard time with because you're a Michigan fan. Even if you're in the media and you love Michigan and you root for Michigan, you have a hard time calling things as they are. It's because
absolutely. My whole thing is, Denny.
Yeah,
it should have never come down to that play.
Oh, I agree with you on that.
Should have never come down to that play. The oldest trophy in college football.
There it is. Yeah, I like it. Hey, you know, it was the defense, the Orji throws the pick, and then there was a big return down to the 15. So the offense wasn't putting the defense in a great position there in the fourth quarter. So, and obviously in the late in the third either. So,
all right, Dave, we're going to agree to disagree, but I'm going to be happy to disagree on this one with you. I'll take yours. He was offsides.
You're saying he was. Okay. All right. All right. Tack the ball before 10 yards. You can come up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we did it on the next onside kick that they tried. So, Danny, got some notes here on Washington's defense. They're fifth in total defense. They give up 250 yards a game, 249.8. We're 13th in total defense. The University of Michigan's defense is 13th in the Big Ten with 317.6 yards per game. Now, again, I think we played a lot better competition than Washington, but we'll see. Second, passing game. Washington is what? Second in the passing game, 128 yards. We're 16th, 250 yards, 248.8. This is where the game's going to be won, Denny.
I got my idea where it's going to be 1-2. Go ahead. Let's hear yours.
Washington, 12th in the rushing game, giving up 121.8 yards a game. Michigan is third with 68.8 yards a game. If we can make them one-dimensional, I like our chances big time. And I love going against teams that don't do particularly well week in and week out against the run game. And they're fourth in points per game. We're 14th for points per game. So I think we're going to it's going to come down to rushing the ball again. And I think the situation is favorable for us. When I look at their roster, they're a little bit light. I think they're one defensive edge player who is leading the conference in tackles for loss or sacks. Alfonso Tapatula. I think he's like 6'3", 240 or 245 or something like that. So I like our chances. I like our stoutness against this game. Remember, we're going to Washington. What carries, what travels well? Well, in my opinion, defenses travel well, run games travel well.
I agree with you, Jerry. My three keys are getting out to a lead so you can continue to run the football, and then red zone defense. When I looked at the numbers, I saw that Washington has it looked like a lot of empty yards, 21st in total offense, but they rank 116th in red zone offense. So they can move the ball, but they have not been able to put it into the end zone, ranking 116th. Michigan, you can bend, but don't break. And you get that lead, you can lean on them with that run game. I have Michigan 26, Washington 23. That's the score that I came away with. All right, Jerry.
I'm looking at 24-21.
24-21. I'll take either one. There you go. Jerry, enjoy the game and have a great weekend.
Hey, you too, Denny. Take care of yourself. Always great working with you, and hail to the victors. By the way, it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine.
Smash the like button and subscribe. We're like 2